Today, we're digging into the story of how a financial expert and a marketing whiz teamed up to build a business from the ground up, one that promises some pretty incredible results. It's a great story about expertise, technology, and a mission that's actually way simpler than you'd think. Okay, let's kick things off with this number, 22%. That's the average annual return on investment that a company called Quanti Trading tells its members they can expect. Yeah, that's a pretty bold claim. And here's where it gets really wild. A 22% return for just 10 minutes of your time a month? I mean, that immediately makes you ask, how is that even possible? So we're going to break down how they do it, not just their investment strategy, but their business strategy, which honestly is just as smart. So who's behind all this? Well, you got two main guys. First up is Viken. He's a financial advisor, been in the markets for over 20 years. Then there's Antoine, his partner, who saw this incredible knowledge Viken had and knew how to share it with the world online. But here's the catch, right? Just because you're a genius at something doesn't mean you know how to teach it or build a business around it. Viken had this amazing skill, but turning it into something he could share with people, that was a whole different ballgame. So Viken's first attempt at a system, well, it wasn't really a system at all. I mean, picture trying to run things by juggling a bunch of separate tools. Emails here, a payment thing like Stripe over there, phone calls, trying to piece together other software. It was just messy, a total nightmare to manage, and absolutely impossible to grow. And you can see how this was a huge problem. They were spending more time fighting with their tools than actually focusing on their mission. But then they hit a turning point that completely changed the game and simplified everything. Antoine steps in, and he has this game-changing idea. He suggests they just stop all the juggling, move everything over to one single, all-in-one platform. Viken trusted him, so they took the leap and made the switch. And wow, the difference was like night and day. They went from this chaotic, stressful setup that just burned through time to a system that was simple and automated. All of a sudden, their website, their sales funnels, their emails, their courses, everything was in one place. It freed them up to focus on what they were actually supposed to be doing, building the business. You know, when Antoine described what that change felt like, he didn't use words like efficient or profitable. He used a word that's so much more powerful. He said it was peaceful. The right tool didn't just organize the business. It removed the stress. Okay, so now that they had their tech sorted out, they could finally get to the fun part, building a simple but super effective way to bring in new members and actually help them. And this is a huge takeaway. Their whole philosophy wasn't about building the fanciest, most complicated marketing machine. It was all about taking action. Like Antoine says, it doesn't have to be perfect or super optimized to work. The most important thing is to just get it done. So what did this action over perfection actually look like? Well, it's a really simple 3-step journey. Step 1, offer something valuable for free in exchange for an email. Step 2, host a free webinar where you just genuinely teach people and share what you know. And finally, step 3, for the people who are really engaged, you invite them to go deeper in their investment club. That's it. Simple, logical, and it works. So what's the actual product here? What is this investment club? Well, it's a yearly membership that teaches a passive, long-term investment strategy. This isn't about high-stress day trading. They focus on something called swing trading, which is all about capturing market moves over days or weeks with as little risk as possible. And they teach you everything you need to know, from picking a broker all the way to understanding your taxes. But something interesting happened as their business started to grow. It became pretty clear that this whole thing wasn't just about the money or the investment returns. Their real motivation was something much deeper. And here's why. They looked at who was actually following them, and what they found was kind of staggering. A full 80% of their audience were total beginners to investing. So this wasn't just about offering a strategy anymore. It was about teaching and guiding people who were completely new to this world. So you can imagine, people got skeptical. They started asking Viken, hey, if your system is so great, why are you telling everyone your secrets? Why not just keep them to yourself and get rich? His answer pretty much explains everything. He didn't give a complicated business reason. His answer was incredibly simple and incredibly genuine. He just said, I love to help. I love people. That's it. And that's the real reason his community trusts him so much. It's not a marketing tactic. It's just who he is. And Antoine feels the exact same way. For him, success isn't something you see on a spreadsheet. He says that when people just say thank you, when you realize you've actually helped someone, that's success. That feeling is their real bottom line. And that's really the key to this whole story, isn't it? By making the how super simple, the technology, the marketing, they were able to pour all their energy into their why. They could finally focus completely on what mattered most, sharing what they knew and helping other people succeed. You know, their story is such a great reminder that having expertise is just one piece of the puzzle. The real magic happens when you simplify how you share it, so you can focus on why you're sharing it. It kind of leaves you with a big question to think about. What knowledge do you have that, with the right simple system, could be shared to help someone else?